Well, opinions on transgender athletes competing based on their gender identity continues to stir controversy. One man in Texas says he was fired from the Austin Fire Department for writing about his views on transgender athletes on his blog. Joining us now is the former lead fire chaplain for the Austin, Texas Fire Department, Dr. Andrew Fox. Dr. Andrew, thank you very much for coming on today. All right, tell us more about what led up to your termination.
Well, thank you for having me on this morning to be able to tell my story. I've served as the lead chaplain for 8 years, and I've been blogging at the same time, expressing my broadly held and widely held and historically held beliefs in the United States. But up until last year, that was embraced. But then last year, offense was taken at my blogging where I questioned a man transitioning to be a woman competing against women as a woman was yet another attack on the beauty of what it is to be a woman. Ultimately, I was canceled for those beliefs and views that I expressed in a private blog that had absolutely no connection with my position as lead chaplain of the fire department.
So again, you were sharing your thoughts. I'm sure on this blog you've commented on a number of issues, maybe controversial ones as well, so it wouldn't be the first time, right? What was it about maybe this topic that the fire department took such issue with?
Well, any topic we comment on needs civil dialogue, not ideology, not even Christian ideology. It must be civil dialogue, appreciating all different perspectives. To this date, no one has brought to my attention precisely what was offensive in my blogs. It was more of a broad brushstrokes, it's offensive, and you're canceled. And now I requested several times to bring to my attention what was wrong with these blogs, what specifically. I even met with the representative of the LGBTQ group several times to discover what was offensive, and nothing was brought to my attention specifically. So it was very surprising, shocking, and I think an example of what is happening all over the country.
Newsmax reached out to the Austin Fire Department for a statement. We received this. The Austin Fire Department appreciates Dr. Fox's service as a volunteer chaplain. However, we do not expound on matters involving personnel and or those affiliated with our department in any official capacity, nor on matters involving pending or ongoing litigation. So no additional comment there, but is there some pending litigation that you're seeking in this case?
I think I think my attorney would probably best be answering that if he is on this call. I'm not sure if he is.
I don't think he's with us right now, but the fact that you are interested in maybe getting some justice or possibly just some answers here, is that really what you're seeking?
Well, I'm seeking to be reinstated to serve those who selflessly serve the community. Firefighters are heroes in themselves and have to go home at the end of their shift for their own domestic life, to their own families, their own partners. And so a chaplain is a great resource for them. And my work was increasing over these 8 years, become very intense. For instance, during the ice storm, I was at many situations where there was death. And I had to debrief some of those firefighters who simply wanted to talk to a chaplain before they went back to their shift or went home. And so the loss is the firefighter who no longer has that resource in me. Sure. To provide for what they so desperately need if they choose it.
Indeed. All right. Through a little TV magic, our producers were able to make it happen. Joining us now, Senior Counsel for Alliance Defending Freedom, Ryan Bangert. So, guys, it's great to have everyone here now. Ryan, tell me again, we were just talking to Dr. Fox about this sort of pending legislation here that could be happening, litigation rather. In this case, the fact that he was fired and he felt unjustly so, can you tell our viewers the very latest on this?
Absolutely. We filed a lawsuit in federal court in Austin after Dr. Fox was terminated by the Austin Fire Department simply for speaking his own views on his own personal blog. And what the Austin Fire Department did violates the First Amendment in a variety of different ways. There's no question that public employers have no business and no right policing what their own employees say on their own time, on their own blogs. That's a patent violation of the First Amendment.
Okay. Andrew, you said you've spoken to these guys, the firefighters there, the men and women who serve. If you were offered your job back, would you accept it?
Of course I would. Of course I would. I moved to this country, 23 years ago as an immigrant on a religious workers visa. So there's my motive for being here. It's to serve in a clergy capacity. And that went to a permanent residence. Then I became a citizen of this country along with my family. So there's purpose to me being here. And that remains with me to this very day. So that purpose has been taken from me momentarily for now.
All right. Well, you'll have to keep us posted on this case. Again, you say this was based on your blog post having to do with your view on transgender athletes. Just so fascinating to follow this story, as we know so many similar ones are now in the news. Dr. Andrew Fox, Ryan Banger, thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Coming up, Florida